Season 5, Episode 11, Take 1. What is good, everybody? My name is Jake, and welcome back to the One Take series, where we get one chance to reflect on the day. No second chances, no third chances, one take and one take only to look at the board, okay? First off, because I have to talk about it. I'm sorry, I have to talk about it, okay? Let's see. We'll name this person. We're going to name a person, okay? There was a person who basically yesterday was reaching out to me regarding just like kind of like one take and how I'm approaching the one take, right? And so I figured it's a good talking point for today. It's a really good talking point for today. This person was basically, this person is definitely going to know who they are. I still love this person, right? I will always love this person. But like, the thing is, okay, they were talking about how it's unrealistic, right? It's unrealistic, and it leads to a cycle of beating myself up, right? The thing about that is that I'm not trying to beat myself up during these videos. I purely take it as an opportunity to reflect on said videos and just like said life, honestly. Just, it's a genuine thing of like, every single day, this board, I want you to think of this board as a screenshot of what I had to do today or what I did today, right? It's basically an idea of, okay, I may not be able to get to all 10 things at once, but what ends up happening is that by trying to get to all 10 things at once, I at least get to a good portion of them, right? And that really is the goal. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. That is really what this episode should be called. That is absolutely the title of this video. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Or actually, it might be, now that I think about it, I think it's shoot for the moon, aim for the stars. I think that's how the saying goes. I think I'm thinking of that because of the Pop Smoke album or whatever, where it's actually titled Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. But shoot for the moon, aim for the stars, right? That's what we're doing with this. No, we're not going to accomplish all 10 of these, but we're going to accomplish the bulk majority of the fact that we have them on our mind, right? That really is the goal. And so when I look at this and see what I'm doing wrong, it's less of a thing of I miss one day of the gym, for example, right? I miss one day of the gym and therefore it's all going to shit, right? That's not really the goal of this, right? If I miss one day of the gym, then that's fine. But if I miss multiple days of the gym, like I've been kind of doing these last couple of episodes, I'll admit, if I keep missing the gym, if I keep missing Jesus, right? If, for example, I were to keep missing sleep, then it would be a problem, right? That's when the problem arises. It's not when you take one snapshot and you analyze the one snapshot and you're like, what is wrong with this picture? And I don't like this picture. It's not that. It's when you take a bunch of little snapshots and you see a consistent problem along all of them. That's really when something needs to change, right? That's going to be a talking point later in this video, right? As for the actual day itself, so that's that covered, right? For the actual list, Jesus, no. However, I still have time in the day, right? That really is the way that I should be approaching this. And I think that it's an important distinction to make, right? The idea of 9-4 or 9-3 or 9-2, whenever I'm asking a question with the date, it's not have I done it for this date. It's have I done it for this date yet, right? It's not that I put an X next to 9-4 and I put the deck counter to 9, so therefore I am completely physically unable to read the Bible, right, today, right? That's not what it means. What it means is that I put an X to it for now. This is bound to change, and if it changes, then this goes from 9 to 8. That's the goal, okay? So it's more of a thing of like, take this with a grain of salt, because most of the time when I record one take, it's not when I'm at the end of my day. It's when I'm partway through my day and I have yet to do things that I need to do most of the time, right? However, I will start trying to specify like when I am like referencing like the day before and then also like today, just to like kind of, because I know I was doing that more at the beginning of the series, but I think that's an important distinction to draw, or an important line. For the rest of the day, academics was the main thing I focused on. Went pretty well. There was like maybe, honestly, I mean, there was pretty much just zero problems that I had with any of the schoolwork. Tuesdays and Thursdays are definitely a lot more tame and a lot more fun, honestly, than Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the high pressure. That's the 1 p.m. That's the unplanned pregnancy. That's when just like everything is being annoying on those days. And that's when the lab is, right? One of my main labs, right? But Tuesdays, Thursdays are actually pretty fun. I'm liking them a lot. And so obviously today was a good day for academics. I was mainly concerned on cleaning up assignments that needed to be cleaned up, and I will continue cleaning up assignments that need to be cleaned up. However, the biggest freaking priority right now, in this moment, the second that I finish this video, the very next thing I am doing is prepping for that research interview. Oh my gosh, dude. I definitely need to read up as much as I possibly can. Because we got our foot in the door. You already saw from episode 9, we have our feet in the door, right? We technically have one over here and one over here, right? And so if this foot gets closed on, if the door closes on this foot, at least we still have one to go on, right? We still have another research position or a research interview and window to get in on. However, this one, I mean, if we can get this one, then we basically don't even have to worry about as much the other one, right? It's a lot lower stakes if we're able to land this one and then not get the other one, right? So honestly, at the moment, I'm just making sure that I know that article as much as I possibly can. I'm making sure that I know other articles by this guy as much as I possibly can. I'm making sure that when I walk into that interview tomorrow, I know exactly what he's referencing whenever he references something. He's like, what are your thoughts on this? And I'm able to give like a full-on chat GPT response on what I think about what he's saying, right? That is the goal, okay? That is the goal. Pretty much almost everything else does not matter as much, okay? Gym, not going to happen. Jesus is the only exception, right? I'm going to try and make up Jesus today because that is long overdue. But other than that, Jesus, academics, and the rest of it, getting blocked out. It's getting blocked out, right? As in terms of the rest of the list, internships and work, as well as, one take, shorts, and then Big Brother, they're all getting pushed to the weekend. This weekend is going to be a little bit more interesting. We're going to have more limited time because relatives are coming in to visit. And so basically, because of that, basically we're not going to have as much time. We're going to probably have maybe pessimistically, if we look at it, I'm assuming like one day. But I still plan on getting everything that I want to do on the weekend done, right? That includes these. And that also includes an update on music, right? Before I mention that, I actually should mention 6 hours of sleep. Couldn't really do much about that though. I went to bed at 1 a.m. because of that one midnight assignment, and I had to leave at 8:15. So, I mean, it is what it is. However, music industry, the mini music industry, I think that this is massive. Massive. We are on to something. I'm telling you, we are on to something. And when I say we, I'm talking about the main guy that is behind this, as well as his inner circle that is trying to get this going, right? I genuinely, and I think he feels the same way, we feel that this is bigger than a club. This can be bigger than a club, genuinely. This can blossom into something absolutely beautiful that literally can be seen for generations to come. I'm not even kidding you. I'm genuinely not, as much as it sounds like it, right? The thing about it is that, well, I'll say that the main guy that I keep referencing, I would, honestly, he would probably love if I were to promote him. However, his artist name is his actual legal name, so I'm not going to name drop it. But the idea is that I honestly think that this guy, like, his craft is absolutely rap. He knows just everything about rap. He's up to date with everything rap, and he just knows what it's about, right? And so it is a thing where it's like, if you tend to, it may be contrary to this, right? There has been a consistent theme that a lot of people say if you focus in on one thing and you do that one thing really, really well, then you're going to be able to do something great with it, right? If you focus on only trying to be the best in the rap genre, then chances are you're going to make it pretty dang far in the rap genre, right? Whereas maybe, let's just say, you disperse your activities across 10 things. Maybe you don't do as well on each of them, right? And this is what the person was talking about to me, right? Is if you give 100%, the idea is that if you give 100% each day to all 10 of these things, for me in my case, you give 100% to all of these things, and you really end up giving only 10% to each thing. First of all, you can never give 10% to Jesus if you want to be a Christian. You always give 100% if you're with Jesus. That's the first thing. The second thing, though, is that yes, if you focus on one thing, you can do one thing really well. That's what should be expected. If you do one thing your entire life, you should expect to do that really well. Because if you're not, you're failing at the one thing that you're literally doing your entire life, right? So that's why I like to disperse things, right? Because even though you could hyper-focus on one thing and it could turn out for you, you could focus on, like continuing with that example, you can continue focusing on being the best rapper of all time. But the chances are, there are so many people in the world, you're still probably not going to be the best rapper of all time unless you, like, literally commit, just like no one's ever seen before, right? So dispersing your activities is important. However, in this case, I genuinely believe, because this man eats, sleeps, literally does everything possible to rap, right? And so it's a thing where I honestly see him at the top of the rap game one day, purely just because of his dedication and because of this. I honestly believe that, like, looking back, people can see this as just a little, like, landmark in, like, his journey, right? And I think that is really important, just because sometimes, like, indicators of greatness, they don't just happen overnight, right? I mean, like, I don't want to build my ego up too much, right? But, like, if you look at this series, for example, the One Take series, the idea behind it is not the fact that I go from just, like, this I go from, like, this guy who, like, is just unsatisfied where he is, and then eventually gets to the point where I'm pretty much doing almost everything that I possibly can be doing, and I'm just ultra satisfied in life. I'm not to say that I'm not satisfied right now. However, later down the road, I envision myself as, like, I envision myself as rich, I'll be honest. I envision myself as successful. I envision myself as many things. I envision myself as an artist, an engineer, as a content creator. I imagine myself as a bunch of different things, right? The thing is that you have to envision yourself, because that's how you become the best version of yourself. I see the version that I want very distinctly in the distance. And in order to actually get there, I have to start behaving like that person. So the thing is that this is a big sidetrack, by the way. I apologize. That's the thing, is that if I go and apply these 10 things, because this is going back to the checklist idea, is if I go and try to apply these 10 things, then I'm going to land at least most of them, and then consistently we're going to land most of them, and then consistently we're going to make progress, right? But anyways, side tangent aside, mini music industry, I envision it becoming big. And so basically it was exciting because originally I was discouraged because I was like, dang, man, like, he asked me to help out with 2 events and I wasn't able to do either of them just because of timing issues. One of them was specifically today. But then he was talking about, like, we need fundraising ideas, and I'm like, dude, I freaking got you. We can add that to the weekend. So naturally, over the weekend, I gotta come up with some things to actually fundraise the club, right? Because, like, we gotta keep demand going for this music industry if we want people to actually, like, have it be recognized, right? And then not only that, but we just need to, like, keep the lights on in general. We need to do all, like, the things that we need in order to function, just not even including outside people, right? So we're doing that over the weekend. That's another thing. Regardless of what happens over the weekend, we're making time for that, because again, it is important. That's pretty much this list. So I mean, basically, what else is there to cover? I mean, I basically pretty much just encapsulated everything. Low-key, I think that's probably going to be it. So what did we learn from today? We learned that the day's not over until the day is over, right? You could look at something and you could say, I haven't gotten to it. No, you haven't gotten to it today. There's a difference, okay? If you haven't gotten to reading the Bible today, that means you haven't gotten to reading it currently. That means you still have the opportunity to do it before the night ends. It doesn't mean that I haven't read the Bible and therefore I just got to completely skip this day and go on to the next day. Oh, look at me jumping from one day to the other. No, that's not how it works. You don't put anything off till tomorrow. You can put, okay, that's a bad way to phrase it. You can put certain things off to tomorrow, but don't put too much off to tomorrow. Because if you put too much off to tomorrow, then all that's going to happen is that when tomorrow arrives, you put more stuff off until tomorrow, which isn't productive, okay? Number 2 is going to be the fact that sometimes you got to look at the list that you want to do and you have to realize what really is the most important thing, right? Because that is, I mean, obviously, excluding Jesus. Jesus is like not even a part of this list, really. He's just like too important for that, which is why I've been neglecting. Okay, whatever. Sorry. I sincerely apologize, Jesus. Please, I will repent. I will. But the thing is like excluding Jesus, right? I have to take a look at this and realize that even though physical health, yes, I need to get in better physical shape and I need to improve my arms and my neck so I can get into better physical shape. Yes, my academics can obviously be better. Yes, I want to work on music. Yes, I want to watch Big Brother. Yes, I want more sleep. But right now, what in this moment, just taking a look at this board, I mean, you don't even need to take a look at it. It's in all caps. What is the most important thing on this board? And focus on it. I mean, I was literally banging on this board because it was so important. Realize what you have to do the most each day. Was that the whiteboard? Okay, that was the whiteboard. I thought that was the wall for a second. Okay. Realize what you have to do the most each day and make sure you prioritize it, right? From day to day, it's going to change, but make sure you do whatever your priority is, your top priority, okay? And then number 3 is going to be the fact that, like I said, this is starting to apply heavily, the miscellaneous section, okay? The more and more that you focus on things that you truly want to focus on, the more other things will just naturally come to you, right? Let me take a sip of water. For the last 11 days, I believe I was, for the most part, not every day and not all the time, for the most part though, I was locked in, right? Locked in, at least trying to do one of these 10 things. Subconsciously, as we are doing that, okay, we have been getting more looks from women, not any money this week. We made it, we technically made, what is it, $40? I mean, we made $40, that's not bad, right? That's going to be more of a thing, but like I said, with more work, like I said, the weekend, that's going to come into play. So money isn't as applicable, I'm sorry, that killed the vibe. But by focusing on these things, to re-attract our attention to the main thing, by focusing on these things, we have been getting more looks from women. Our urges have gotten even weaker. And our connections are still blooming like never before. Because through connections, I am truly able to accomplish a lot of things. I'm starting to realize just the power of people, and just that phrase of like, it's not like what is it? It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. To a degree, yes, I very much agree. There are so many different people that can value so much different information to you. And so it really is a thing of, because I'm focusing on this, I'm really starting to see some of this come into play. I'm genuinely not even kidding. And so it is just exciting. It's exciting. So focus on the main things, right? Focus on the main things, because all of the little things that you've been searching for will just naturally come along, right? At least, hopefully it should. That should be about it, I'll be honest. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Let's get this research position, baby. Cut.